Welcome on in to the 411 podcast. Tonight we have a very special guest, my friend, Miss Regina, aka Honestly Vegan, coming in on a 411 tonight. Welcome on in. If you are out there on Facebook, I want to say what's up. Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, D Live, Twitch, and again on Daily Motion as well. Please, if you're out there, please go ahead and like, comment, share, tag your friends, let them know what's going on inside the 411 tonight. Regina, Honestly Vegan, coming up real soon. She has some good things to speak about and very special announcement tonight. And for those of you who don't know, obviously she is an awesome cook, right up my alley when it comes to the vegan, vegetarian lifestyle. She can basically come up with something out of nothing, if that makes sense. But we'll get into it, and she'll tell us about how she comes up with all her great recipes. And you probably have half the stuff right around the house right now, and leave it to her. She could put it together. And she's an awesome shopper. She can talk to you about saving money. A great friend of mine, Miss Regina, coming in. Honestly Vegan 411 podcast tonight. The last day of June. So we're getting ready to get into July, of course. All of the festivities are going to be coming with 4th of July and all of that stuff this weekend. So it's a big weekend. So, yeah. Speaking of which, what are you doing this weekend? I'm doing me. Fantasia off of the Back to Me album released in 2010. So it's her birthday today. So happy birthday to Fantasia. Awesome singer, soul singer. Anybody out there who has never experienced her live, I definitely would encourage you to check her out. She definitely does put on a good show. It's worth your money. You know how I am about certain artists, but definitely can spend your money on Fantasia. She'll definitely give you your money's worth. With that, I want to say thank you so much to Liz Krause, author, last night. We had a great show. Everything came out well, despite some of the situations that were going on, but definitely check out that replay. And it was just just real conversation. And I love when people come on a 411 podcast and it's just real life conversation. I have no idea where it's going to come from. It's all set up and it's all planned out. And we're going to talk about following the process and, believing in the plan and things like that. So when I have guests like Liz come through and whatever I'm thinking, she doesn't know what I'm thinking. I already wrote, most of the stuff, from the show hours before she even comes on, and then it just basically makes sense and it flows through. So when situations like that come through, I honestly know that it's bigger and better than me, and I just get out the way and I just go with the flow. So every single night here on the 411 podcast, when we come through, we just go with the flow. Never know what's going to happen. Never know what conversation is going to come through. Never know which breakthrough is going to come through. So go ahead and tag your friends and, let them in. Maybe you might not get something, but somebody else might get something. I want to say what's up to Mr. Nate Perry. I saw you last night. Thank you for coming through, checking us out on Reading Between the Wines. Jason T. Davis, all the way from California. We have Roang constantly showing some mad love and support from South Korea. Thank you so much. Author Lauren Schultz, another one from California. Great conversation. Thank you so much for coming through as well. Sean T. Refuge, 26 Journals. Go ahead and check out my friend. What's going on? I see you out there on Instagram. Thank you so much for joining. We have Danny from My Survivor Voice podcast. Please go ahead and check her out, bringing some real life situations and some real life conversations to her platform as well. Clothing company, Ultimate Switch Thrift Clothing Company. Thank you so much for coming through. Grace's Hand, thank you for supporting as well. Another podcaster, Liz from Coffee and Conversations with Liz. Check her out as well on Instagram and on Facebook as well. And then my friend Danielle from Texas, Louisiana. She travels state to state. Posh and Pretty Brow Bar. Thank you for joining us. All right. So last night we spoke about letting things go that are unimportant, things that are really not that relevant to you. How easy is it for you to let go of things that are unimportant in your life? And it's simple to say, yeah, I got it. It's done. I block it out. Hey, maybe that is true for you. I can't get on here and start speaking on behalf of somebody else, but there are a lot of things that are just so worried about these things, right? But then, just speaking from experience, every now and then these little things just start to take up a little bit more space than what they did before. So I wrote it off. I said it was unimportant. I said I'm not going to worry about it. I said I'm not going to worry about you. I said I'm not going to worry about that. And then, good for a couple days. In some cases, it might be good for a couple hours. And then all of a sudden, we start to think about these things again. I don't know if you ever have that situation, and then you wake up or you look up and you stand up or whatever, and you get up and you're like, damn, I thought we said that we weren't going to let this occupy this much space in my world. Remember, this is not significant anymore. This person is no longer significant. This thing is no longer significant anymore. Whatever it might be. Who knows? How easy is it? Is it easy for you to let go of the things that are unimportant in your life? And it's all on what we think is important. And I said there's a battle constantly with what's critical versus what's important. Critical things you're gonna focus, you're gonna make it work. And those important things, it's not critical. I can still move, I can still live, I can still breathe. It's important to me though, but it ain't critical, it ain't detrimental. Maybe I could just push that on the back burner. But then it gets a little confusing when we start to mix things up and switch things up and give this too much credit, give this person too much time, give, whatever it is. How easy is it for you to let go of things that are unimportant in your life? And I think that when we finally do let these things go, if we can, some of them is easier than others. It's all about trusting the process. Listen, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen. Sometimes I might not even know why it's happening, but I trust the process. During the whole time we're going through this, this is life. When you finally give up and you just trust the process, do you trust the process or do you still get in the way? That's a whole nother situation that we spoke about too. Trusting the process, believing in the process, going with the flow, not getting in the way, not stepping in, doing too much, not saying too much, just riding this thing out. Do you trust in the process? Do you believe in the process? Hmm. What's going on? Thank you so much for joining out there. If you are out there new for the first time, please go ahead and tag your friends, invite them in, share this video, do whatever you need to do to let them know that the 411 podcast is going on tonight. We have Miss Regina, aka Honestly Vegan. I think she's been on this show at least 3 or 4 times already. But let's go ahead and reach out to Miss Regina and see what she has going on. It's been a minute.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello. What's
Well,
going on?
hey, what's up?
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
We're just vibing out here on a 411 talking about trusting and believing in the process, which I know you know all so much about this. I would,
Of course.
of course. So I just asked a simple question. Do you trust in the process?
um,
That could
I
be.
would have to say yes.
Hmm. Even if sometimes you don't even know when, how it's going to work out, you just have to trust and believe in a whole process. At least
Yeah.
that's what I do today. Because usually when I get in the way, it turns into a disaster.
Mhm.
Fin-
Mhm.
Finally, I'm like, you know what? Okay, all right. You
You
win.
have to trust the process. I mean, well, you have to trust God through all processes, but
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
just have to, you just have to trust that everything is out the way it's meant to work out.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah. And if anybody needs some scripture to back up, go read Romans 8 and 28.
8 and 28. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Romans 8 and 28. And Miss De La Shawn, thank you so much for joining. Says it's hard at times, but you have to believe the test is part of the testimony. Ooh, I love that one. Test is part of the testimony.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Don't get upset, right? This is a test.
Right. Exactly.
Just go with the flow. I have to tell myself that quite often this week. He's like, no.
I mean, sometimes it's easier said than done.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, we're human. We have our moments.
Mm-hmm,
we just have to remind ourselves of those things.
Yeah. So what's new? Let everyone know where you calling from tonight. One of those.
I am calling from North Carolina.
I knew. I was like, it's one of those Carolinas. I just don't know which one.
Yeah, North Carolina. And I mean, it's still hot, but there's been a little break from the heat, with a little bit of rain the last couple of days.
You can't be one of those people who complain about the heat, are you?
Actually, no, because I grew up in the Midwest.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's no heat like heat in the Midwest.
So what area did you grow up in?
Oh, Oklahoma.
Okay.
Yeah, Lawton, Fort Sill, Oklahoma.
Interesting. I think I had someone on a podcast from Oklahoma, and I had made a joke that were you like the only black person in Oklahoma? But I think I asked somebody that before, something crazy like that. But were there a lot of black folks in Oklahoma?
Yeah, okay. I mean a lot. I mean the average person will probably think it wasn't, but it was actually a lot.
Okay. That ought to be one of my questions before too. Have you ever gone somewhere and realized and was shocked that there were more black folks than what you really originally thought there were? I mean, because it's happened to me. It's happened to me.
Yeah, of course. Especially when I was in the military and I got stationed in Missouri. And I looked around and I was just like, dang, a lot of us.
Well, I mean, I guess that all determines on what part you were at, because I was at a part of Missouri that definitely was not the case.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like I was in Branson and
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Never been there. Drove through there, but never been there. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be one of our discussions for another day. And De La Shawn says, if it's given to you, it won't be appreciated. Love this topic. Listen, we already moved on to something else, and I'm sorry I didn't catch that because it sounds so good. I didn't catch it at the moment. So you've been back before several times, so thank you for coming through. And you have some wonderful things going on, and you have some wonderful announcements tonight too. But I just want to say I love the TikTok videos. I've always told you that from day one.
Oh, thank you. It's crazy because I go back and look at some of the first ones I did, and my thoughts are, oh God, girl, you had no clue what you were doing.
Who are you telling? One of these platforms is starting to take some of my videos off, and I'm like, not take them off, but pausing them for certain reasons, and I'm like,
yeah,
good. Because did you see what you had on? Did you see what was happening when you were first starting and didn't know what you were doing? So
right,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Well, that's good. So now you already have a book out. What's the first one?
The one that's out now was my first cookbook, which was so deliciously vegan. So it was all plant-based recipes, which is sold out. Only the PDF is available.
Okay. And then now I understand that you have a new book coming out.
Yes, I do.
And what's
My
this
new
one?
book
Mm-hmm.
is,
Okay.
is I'm really excited about this one because it's all about the journey.
Mm-hmm. What's this one called?
This one is Soul Deliciously Flexitarian.
Okay, so soul. So we're gonna get some soul food, I would think.
Oh yeah, some fried ribs. You're gonna get
Oh,
yes, like
except well, I
you're
don't.
gonna get
We
so
get the
much,
we
so
get
much,
the,
so much.
but do we get the vegan side though, or is it really fried ribs?
But that's the thing, Larry. It's about my journey because I don't know. Remember before I told you I tried to go vegan cold turkey and it
Hmm.
didn't work. I lasted a couple days. And
Hmm.
I was like, yeah, this ain't gonna work. So I had to basically like wean myself off of things. So this is all about the journey and enjoying the journey. And sometimes we can get so caught up or want to be so quick to get to the finish line that we're
Hmm.
not even taking the time to enjoy and go through the whole process
I'm liking
because
this.
it's about the journey. This is not a like a sprint.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Yeah, this is
It is
not
not a
not
sprint.
not a
Think of it
race.
more like
Mm-hmm.
a marathon
Mm-hmm.
and you pacing yourself to
Mm-hmm.
get to the end. You're gonna get to the end,
Mm-hmm.
but you're not rushing. And then when you get to the end, you're out of breath and you're exhausted and you're overworked. And
Mm-hmm.
but you're in a marathon. You're pacing yourself to get to that end result, so that when you get to the end,
Mm-hmm.
you still have the same energy and drive and desire that you had in the very beginning.
So I don't know nothing about it, but I would think that
Okay.
you're gonna I would think that you're gonna have some, you know, regular recipes in there, and then
Oh yeah.
maybe we get a little weaned off towards the end, and then you are in the whole vegan lifestyle. I don't know. That's just me thinking. What do I know?
Yeah, but that's exactly it. So um, there are carnivore recipes in the beginning, and then we move on to the pescatarian. Then we move to vegetarian, and then we move to vegan, and then we have our dessert.
Okay,
That's the
I'm in a
general.
pescatarian stage, and I've been stuck there for a minute. Um, I
Uh,
tried vegan stuff when I was in France, and
Okay.
it was good. But I'll tell you, um, the cheese, I just can't do it. I think that is what does it for me. Like when I want a slice of cheese, I mean that's what I want. Like I mean some of the
Right.
cheeses that I've tried, like why don't they melt? don't don't get it. You really gonna make mac and cheese with this cheese here? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So now are you still honestly vegan, or are you
Well,
something else at this point? Like what?
no,
You still just
no.
100% vegan?
Right. No, right now, I'm still honestly vegan, but I mean that is me, that is my brand.
Hmm.
But my personal page, Chef Gina B, that's where I put all the meat and dairy recipes. So it's just about finding that balance to merge the two because I'm gonna say it like this.
Hmm.
I'm not a clinician. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a doctor, registered medical assistant, registered nurse, LPN. I don't have a degree in the medical field. So
Hmm.
I cannot sit here and tell you, you should eat this, you shouldn't eat that, you need to detox, you need to do this. That's not what I am here for. I am walking in the purpose that God has set out, and I'm here just to encourage people to make healthier choices and to be open minded to try new things.
Hmm.
Like, I don't want you to give up anything or stop what you're doing. I'm not here to judge or criticize. I'm just here to show love and to encourage people at wherever they are in their food or health journey.
Mm, there you go.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm still me.
for me, I mean, I don't see myself going back to eating meat. I
Mhm.
don't see that, but I also don't know right now at this moment. I see myself being vegan either. So I'm sort of
Right.
just right here, right now.
And that's perfectly cool. I mean, this cookbook was a little challenging
hmm
because I'm like, oh my God, now I gotta eat meat now. Because you can't cook the food and not
No,
taste
no,
it
no.
because
I'm
they do
not
it
listening to
right,
that. No,
you
you
know.
you were like, that's it. I want to eat meat, so I'm going to write a book so that I have an excuse to eat meat. I know what it is. I know what it is. You got tired of that vegan cheese, didn't you? That vegan cheese is what did it.
Yeah. So, and then, I got a lot of good feedback from the first cookbook that they
hmm
wanted to see more dessert.
Okay.
So, we got apple pecan crumble, apple pie. I put my bread pudding recipe in there, my homemade cinnamon rolls in there, my carrot cake is in
Oh,
there.
now carrot cake, is that vegan or no?
No, it's
hmm
regular. It's regular,
I
but
would say,
if you look throughout the cookbook, I put little notes and things how to take a recipe and
uh,
make it plant
make it.
based or make it keto or make it low carb,
hmm
so you have different options.
I think that's one of the challenging things too. When you're vegan, man, you miss out on a lot of desserts.
Mm, maybe the average person,
hmm
but really no. I mean, like I have cake, I have cookies, I have muffins, I have donuts. Now I think about it, did I put my vegan donut recipe in there? I don't think I did.
Hmm.
But yeah, so yeah, I have dessert.
Okay. So
Yeah,
we got everything. So
exactly.
how long does it take you to come up with this whole process?
Oh wow. I'm gonna be honest with you, Lyric. I got so many recipes in me. Like the Holy Spirit already gave me cookbook number 3, like
Oh
already.
wow.
But like the whole process, just from making the recipes and trying them out and getting them to where I want it,
hmm
from start to finish, I would say honestly a good 3 to 4 months,
Mm.
and that's including all the other stuff I have going on.
That
You
that
know,
that's a lot of cooking. That's a lot of taste testing. That's a lot of everything.
yeah, yeah, it's a lot, and with this one not being completely longer, because remember the original, I was going to have it come out again on Earth Day,
Hmm
but the process was just taking longer, and I was starting to get frustrated. And that's where the human part of us comes in. Like we want it now, we want it right now,
Yeah.
and the Lord is like, not yet.
hmm
Chill out. It's gonna happen. Just be patient. So
hmm
I use this time to really focus on getting the recipes how I wanted them. And I tell everybody, I am heavy-handed when I season.
Uh,
So take these recipes with a grain of salt. I don't season with salt, but I am heavy-handed when I season.
so you don't use salt. So what else do you use? Just some alternatives? What?
Um, just normally the only thing I really use salt in is when I'm baking something,
hmm
or if I'm making something uh, with eggs or potatoes. Something you can taste it and be like, yeah, it needs a little salt. But
What
just using salt every day on a regular basis, I don't do that.
What's the reason for you not doing that?
Initially it was because my husband,
hmm
and he takes blood pressure medication.
hmm
So yeah,
Right.
I
Just
just I really started doing that and paying more attention to even the store bought or processed things that I would buy, because I know he does take medication for his blood pressure.
mm, okay.
Yeah, and then it's like once we got started doing that, just never went back to it.
And you use it. I started to do that years ago, and I just basically said, all right, so we just substitute and we use a lot of pepper. We use a lot of spicy things to,
Yeah,
make it
exactly.
work. Like crushed red peppers, that's my thing.
Mm. Oh my goodness, I love crushed red pepper.
Yeah, put that on a lot of different things. Okay.
And if you season the food right, you don't even miss the salt.
Yeah. Well, I'm not really a cook, so I can't really tell you about that. So I'll be looking. Oh, speaking of which, I want to say thank you so much for putting those tofu recipes on there. Even though I look at your videos and I be so inspired by it, I still have some tofu just sitting there chilling because whenever I have used it in the past, it's always been a disaster. Either it's too mushy or this or that, or it don't get
Hmm.
crispy and hard like, when you get it from the restaurant. So I
Right.
have not mastered anything when it comes to tofu at this point. So, but I like the videos though.
Well, try the lasagna. When you make lasagna,
Hmm.
you know, try that. When you make your ricotta mixture for your lasagna,
Now
throw some tofu in your ricotta mixture.
I have to ask you a question.
Hmm.
Who's making lasagna?
I thought you were.
No, I'll tell you, I've never made lasagna before in my life. Mm-mm.
Okay, okay,
Mm-mm.
okay,
Need something
okay,
a little more simpler than that, because that.
okay, okay,
Mm-mm.
okay.
Do you know and I'm not probably saying too much, but listen, one of my relationships didn't work out because I didn't cook, so it's a problem.
It didn't work out because you didn't cook.
Yeah, like I didn't cook from day one. Get out of here.
Right.
But
Like,
that was one of the excuses, and that I don't cook.
but that was an excuse because they knew that from day one. So they knew in the beginning you didn't cook. So that was just an excuse they could use to, you know,
Yeah, do whatever they gonna do. It's all good.
exactly.
It's all good though.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all good. I'm not worried about that. Um, so what the hell were we talking about? All over the place tonight. It's
Yeah,
all
talking
good.
about food and cooking and
And tofu, there we
uh,
go. Talk about the tofu
yeah,
recipes. So, Soul Deliciously Flexitarian. Are you ready to give us a date on this, or I mean, because we got more
yeah.
things to
Well,
talk about. We can come
well,
back
I
to
mean,
that.
we can come back to it. We can, just whatever. I'm just going with the flow.
Okay. So now, talk to me about this pepper sauce that I saw.
Okay, so this is something that I've been making for years now. I first made it back in 2015
Hmm.
because I like I like malt vinegar. This is when I was eating um, meat, so I like malt vinegar with my fish.
I've never tried it before, so I saw the
But
vinegar thing, and I was like,
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. So I like malt vinegar with my fish and my greens and things. But malt vinegar um, would break me out. So I
Mm-hmm.
had to come up with something that I could still enjoy with my greens, with my fish, basically anything you put vinegar on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's vinegar, it's got Scotch bonnet peppers in it, garlic, black peppercorns, and things like that. So it's like a really spicy vinegar, and use it on anything you would eat vinegar on.
I haven't really been a vinegar fan like that, and
Right.
I'll tell you where it started. This is funny. Do you like salt and vinegar potato chips?
I have to have a taste for them.
Okay, well, I will tell you that I absolutely can't stand them. Don't like them.
Oh, okay.
I was a fan of sour cream and onion, but when you're young and you ain't paying
Yeah.
attention, all I saw was an S, sour cream,
Oh.
salt and vinegar. So my mother loves salt and vinegar chips, so I call myself stealing some chips. And what a horrible experience that is. If you want to
Oh my goodness.
if your children have a problem eating potato chips, honestly, Buy them some salt and vinegar chips, and I guarantee that that will be completed, and you'll have no issues at all. Start them young. Lips be burning, fingers be burning, everything. I was so upset, and then I tried it once, and then the next time around, I'm like, let me try it again. Maybe these are the chips, because I see an S on the bag. Man, please, if you want me to not eat your chips, buy some salt and vinegar. I'll stay far away from them. Mm-mm.
I mean, it's not funny, but it's comical.
Not really a fan of salt and vinegar chips or anything vinegar. But I'm gonna have to try it. You said on fish, so we talking about fried fish, baked fish.
All kinds of fish, fried, baked, air fried, grilled.
Air fry is so good.
Yeah.
See, I like hot sauce on my fish.
Yeah.
Hot sauce, and you know what is good too on a good, real crispy, just some nice battered up, some mustard.
Oh, okay.
Mustard is good too.
Oh, okay. I never would have thought about that. Mustard. Well, mustard has vinegar in it.
Yeah, it does.
But not as much. Like you can't even taste it.
Right.
Right. So yeah.
All right. So we have pepper sauce. Where can we get this at?
It will actually be available July 10th.
Okay.
On my website, www.honestlyvegan.info. So you can find it there with the ingredients and everything. And my seasonings will be dropping as well.
Now, what are they called?
The first one that comes out is an all-purpose seasoning with no salt, no MSG, no preservatives. And you use it to season anything, meat, vegetables. I love to use it when I'm doing my husband's fried chicken. Yes, now things like onions, garlic, ginger.
I'm starting to get hungry.
Celery seeds, yeah.
After this show, I was like, you're going to be good and just go right to bed. But now I'm like, what could I get myself into?
Yes, the all-purpose one will drop first, but it is an all-purpose seasoning, a Cajun seasoning, a jerk seasoning, and a Caribbean seasoning.
So
that will all be coming out.
So with the much the price, what could we expect?
The price will be on the website. They're not going to be really expensive. But like I said, that's something that's going to drop August the 1st.
Oh, so we got plenty of time until then.
Yeah.
What about the pepper sauce? Do we have to wait for that too?
That's going to actually be available on the website July 10th.
Okay. We got to wait. What's going on? So we got to wait for the details behind it. Okay.
Yeah. Like I got some reels coming. I've been getting content. I got some reels and some posts and stuff coming, so you guys can get all the information and.
So now I know you had some pretty popular name brands that were either supporting you, partnering with you. Is that still going on? I don't want to name the specific brand, but is that still happening, or was that just an experience?
No, I am still doing some things with different. A brand ambassador for some different brands, and I'm still doing that. Yeah.
I called it.
There's one brand in particular. I haven't really posted anything lately. But yeah, I still am.
I call things an experience in life, and this is what I realized is that things happen for a reason, and people, places, things, they come in our lives for a season, and what sometimes that happens. People, things come for your lifetime, or it's for a season. So I just call it as an experience when it's just here for a season, and that was an experience, that was a moment in time, and let it go. It's so hard though, because the
Yeah,
old me is like, no, remember, you know,
yeah.
you can do this, and remember, you can try to change things, and you can. But I'm just like, that was an experience, and we keep it moving. So yeah,
And that's some awesome advice. Cause like before, I'd be like, well, why? What happened? You know,
exactly. Yeah,
but now it's like, oh, okay.
yeah, just an experience, and then
Yeah.
I be so quick to move away from these experiences because when you move so far away from them, that means that you're further down the hall. There are more doors that could potentially be open. But here's the tricky
Right.
thing: when these experiences, right? Sometimes
Mhm.
they flash back across your memory.
Yeah.
They might flash across your screen, and then it's like, all right, so now is this a test? Because
Mm.
I
Okay.
thought we were done with this. Why is this here now? So
Right.
now you have to make that decision to make the right decision.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
could get real tricky, right?
Mhm. I like that phrase. You have to make a decision to make the right decision. I
Mm.
like that.
Because I'll be like, did you make this happen again? Like, what am I supposed to do? What's supposed to happen here? Oh, wow. Apparel. So you have apparel.
Yes, I have some merch that's coming out. Some T-shirts that I just wear when I'm in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, One of them, my husband, he is R.E. Boykin on Instagram. We came up with that together. It's a T-shirt that says "You were supposed to laugh." We say that, especially when with this cookbook and me creating recipes. Everything doesn't always come out the way you want it to,
Who are you
and I would get
telling?
frustrated. And he would be
Who
like,
are
"You
you
were supposed to
telling?
laugh."
Ah, I call myself cooking, and I wasn't laughing. I was like, this is supposed to be like a little date, and I think I burnt something.
Oh,
Anyway,
oh.
it's okay. But you were supposed to laugh, but there was no laughing going on.
Yeah, yeah, please. Uh,
I like that.
I was doing something when I was doing something and I forgot I was doing something and I got sidetracked. And next thing you know, it's like smoke in the house.
Oh no.
And then I was like, oh, look, like it was smoky. Something, I don't know what I was doing. And I'm just taking the kitchen towel and standing and my husband's over there laughing. And I looked at him and I was like, really? And
That's
he was
funny.
like, yeah, you're supposed to laugh.
Now,
I was just like,
now does he cook too? He helps you cook.
oh yeah, he. I call him a grill master because
Okay.
he cooks from the. We have a flat top, a gas grill, and a charcoal grill, and a smoker. And he grills food and smokes things, and now he can get in the kitchen too. Now, funny story.
Mm-hmm.
We had only been dating about 6 months,
Mm-hmm.
and on my birthday, I got out of church and I was gonna go somewhere. He called me. He was like, "No, come to the house. Come to the house." And I was like, "No, I gotta go to the store. I gotta do this and that." He's like, "No, come to the house." So I came home and him and his brother had cooked me basically like a birthday dinner. They had cooked
Oh.
meat on the grill. Now my kitchen was torn to pieces.
Oh, I was gonna say.
The kitchen was a hot mess. And I walked in and he was like, "Don't look at the kitchen, just look at the table."
Mm-mm-mm.
But he had, pasta salad. Like he can cook. Don't
That's
let him
good.
fool you.
That's good.
He can.
So we're gonna have to partake in some of this. I'm trying to see when I'll be in North Carolina, anywhere near it. Hmm. We supposed to have this show that you have coming out soon too. I thought we were gonna do some
Yeah, I'm
cooking.
gonna be doing that. Yeah. Like I said, it was supposed to be done already,
Mm-hmm.
but and I want to encourage people: delay does not mean deny. Things
Mm.
might be delayed, But that's not necessarily God saying no. He
Just
might
not
just be
right now.
saying not right now.
Not right now. Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel
So
that.
we have all these things, all these plans, all this stuff we're gonna do, and we're gonna do this, and it's gonna come out this time. And sometimes it just doesn't work out that
I'd be
way.
so
But don't get discouraged. Just keep moving.
yeah, I'd be so amazed that things don't work out the way I want them to, and I'd be like, okay, all right. I share with you, some prior to us going live here. I thought that I would be, moving in one direction when it comes to brands and merchandise and stuff like that, but at this moment, that's not happening. So I'm like, all right, so we'll see what is next, what we got going on, and you know, it could be a big mistake. So instead of you trying to push and push and push and make something work, you can be making a big mistake. And for me, I will say 2022 has been just exactly that, like realizing that what I visualized, what I thought in my business, people, it first started with people, like people who I thought were who they were not. And that started off in January, and I'm like, all right, damn, that person's dropped off. Every month it's like more and more, things are becoming, reality. And on the other flip side of it, even though some people have lost, have left, I've had an opportunity to grow some existing relationships too. So just because something doesn't work out on one end does not mean it is over, like you said. Like, it's amazing.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
So we ready for the announcement yet? You want to tell us when your new book's coming out? Soul Deliciously Flexitarian.
Yes. Okay. So it is coming out. Drum roll, please. Da 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 da. Because I know y'all been waiting for it. So it actually dropped August the 15th. Now, the reason I picked August the 15th is because with the last cookbook, I had picked the release date. Everything came in, and the pictures were not as clear as I wanted them to be.
Oh,
so then we had to set all that stuff up to get redone and then wait for it to come. Like, it was just, everybody was so patient that pre-ordered, and I thank them for that. But to avoid that, so, so the release date is August the 15th. Now, with that being said, if I give the final approval on everything and it's good to go, I will release it early on August the 1st.
Have you ever had, I'm sure this has happened, where you had it all set and you thought it was all done and you're all proud and you're sitting there and then you get to go flipping through something and you see something and you're like, what?
Yes. Yes. I had somebody text me and was like, hey, on this page, you say add this, but it doesn't say how much. And I'm like, wait, what? And I get to flipping and I'm like, how did I miss that?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So like I said, everybody was real cool. Like, it was, they were real sweet about it.
Yeah, take your time. When it come through, it come through. And that means the rest of your year is just going to go by like crazy. You got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing, you have to, if you're waiting to do something, the question is, are you working while you're waiting? So I had wrote all the recipes and tested the recipes. I was just waiting for some other things to line up for the cookbook. So while I was waiting on that, I continued to work on other projects. So a lot of times we're waiting on something to happen or pan out, but we're just waiting. Yeah. Why not work while you're waiting?
Absolutely.
Put that faith into action.
Yeah, because you know what they say. What's the saying? Go ahead.
Which one? Faith without works is dead?
There you go. There you go. I knew it was that one.
Faith without works is dead. So you got to put some work behind it,
Now, go ahead and let us know where we can follow you at on all your social media platforms before we get into the next segment.
Okay. Okay. So you can follow me on Facebook as Honestly Vegan or on my personal page, Regina Boykin. You can follow me on TikTok, Honestly Vegan, Instagram, Honestly Vegan 2019, and also on Instagram, Chef Gina B, for all my meat loving, dairy loving fans and followers out there.
I wanted to ask about the dairy thing too, because that was a whole nother situation too. When couples, one's vegan, one's not, one participates in dairy, the other doesn't. So
Mm-hmm.
you, or do you partake in dairy?
No.
Okay.
I buy unsweetened almond milk,
Mm-hmm.
plant-based
Mm-hmm.
butters.
Oh, okay.
I'm like um, plant-based cheeses. You know, that's a
Mm-hmm.
whole nother subject. So what I normally do
Mm-hmm.
is we'll take the plant-based cheese
Mm-hmm.
and I will make a cheese sauce,
Uh,
you start out with the average bechamel sauce, and then I'll add the plant-based cheese to it, so I end up with a cheese sauce
mm-hmm.
to pour over whatever I'm eating. You
There-
know, other than just a slice of plant-based cheese or a little bit of shredded plant-based cheese.
There's one that's like a block of cheese. If I see it in a store, I'll know what it is, but it's plant based and it's actually pretty good. That was the only one that I really was okay with. But
Okay.
I will tell you that I came across Tofurkey. You know that brand, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
They have some lunch meat. When I tell you, mm, mm, mm. I'm like this tastes like real meat. Like I was just thrown back. I must have ate it for like 3 weeks straight. I was just in it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they got a honey turkey version. Then they got this peppered one that will remind you of pastrami.
Okay.
That
Okay. I'm gonna have to try that because I tried their sausage.
I haven't tried their sausage.
Their sausages that are over in the produce section,
And
they're
then
really good. Yeah.
they got this chicken like just chopped up. You can throw it on salads. You can, cook
Mhm.
it up. That's good too. You'll swear that you're eating chicken too.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And you know what?
I'm be on the
Also,
lookout.
let me tell you this too. This is something that I came across. I got it in a restaurant. The Beyond Meat. Have you ever tried
Uh
that?
huh.
What do you think of Beyond Meat?
Yeah. I like the Beyond Meat. I kind of find I don't want to. How do I want to say this?
No, don't go messing up my vibe now. Okay.
I'm not. Okay, so I have had Beyond Meat,
hmm
Impossible Foods, Sweet Earth. I've had,
Yeah.
I've tried Pure Farm. I've tried just about them all,
hmm
but I like Beyond Meat products.
Absolutely. And when it comes to like if you
When,
want like a burger on a grill this time of year,
hmm
I won't eat anything else but that.
and the thing about it is, it's like I don't have to worry about because I have I'm real sensitive sometimes with soy, and I have a gluten sensitivity,
hmm
so I try to be mindful of that. But it's like, Laren, I just cannot grasp my head around going to Burger King, getting an Impossible Burger and it has 1,000 milligrams of sodium in it,
I mean,
just in that burger. Like I can't do that.
but I will tell you though that I get what you're saying, but when you are craving, especially if you're doing this for the first time and you're like,
Mhm.
damn, I want me a
Mhm.
burger, sometimes at the last minute, that Impossible Burger will calm you down and you'll be like, you know what? This is some
Now it
crazy
will hit
shit.
the spot.
Yeah, it will.
It will hit the spot. I'm telling you, it will hit the
Yes, it will.
spot.
You'd swear you
And
having a
after I
Whopper.
ate it, I was like, "Ooh, that was good."
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then I was starting to get a headache, and I was
Ah.
like, "Let me Google and see how much salt is in this thing."
But
But it is good now. Impossible brand.
Uh,
Shout out to them. I love their sausage.
I haven't tried that. I haven't tried it.
You don't know what you're missing. I put it in.
What?
I had made my husband a breakfast hash,
Mm-hmm.
and I had used it. He didn't even know the difference.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Mhm.
I had what is the brand? Garden. What is it? Gardein.
Oh, yeah. I love their Nashville hot chicken.
Oh, I gotta try that.
Mhm.
But I recently had their crumbles. Their I guess their.
The beefless crumbles. Yeah.
I was like, are, are you tricking me? Is this real or not? Because I was just thrown back by it. I didn't understand what was happening. So
Yeah, it's good in spaghetti,
that's what
lasagna,
I had it in spaghetti.
tacos.
Range. Are you sure this isn't
Mhm.
mixed meat sauce by accident? It was good. All right, so let's get into burning questions so we can get
All
on up
right.
out of here. So, addiction versus recovery. Do you have any
Mhm.
stories to share of anything that went one way, whether it went left, whether it went right, or whether there were no change? Basically, someone who was addicted to something and it took
Uh
over, or
huh.
someone who was addicted and now the recovery took over.
Right. So I would say food addiction
Hmm.
because people really don't think of food as an addiction, but it is. Normally, when people think of any type of addiction with food, they think of anorexia and bulimia,
Hmm.
things like things like that. But food can be used. It can be addicting because it can be something that you run to for
Oh yeah,
emotional support,
yeah,
and then
yep.
you find yourself running to food for everything. And I can't speak for everybody else. I can only speak from my own personal experience.
Hmm.
Um, but okay, you're depressed, you run to food. Oh, you want to celebrate? Let's do food. Or you watching, uh, you've been watching the series. Okay, let's do food. Like especially with PTSD
T.
and
Oh,
depression.
oh, 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 PTSD. Okay.
Right,
Hmm.
food can be like a drug. Like you won't even be hungry, but you go eat something because it's there, you
Yep,
know,
just because it's there. I
and it's
rem
comforting.
Yeah, I remember in when I was in retail, whenever I would get pissed off, which would be quite often, um, people around me were like, "Would you like me to go get you some Burger King? Would you
Mm.
like some McDonald's? What would you like today?" So it became this thing
Mm.
of, "Oh, he's pissed off again. Let's go ahead and get him some food." And I'm not that big of a person, 5'4", so people would be like,
Right.
"Wow, you can eat all that food?" Yeah.
Mhm.
And then afterwards, you feel like garbage, or you
Mhm.
try to go on these crash diets, and you know, summertime come and you ain't feeling yourself. I got tired of
Right.
all of that, so that's one of the reasons why I switched up my diet too, because I just wanted to be a little bit more healthy. Yeah, I like to eat. That's just reality.
Yeah.
Eating every
Because
damn thing. But
you get
this,
to a point where you're like, this has got to stop. And this is
yeah,
coming from the girl who went to Starbucks every day,
Dunkin' Donuts was mine.
every day for a venti, every day. Because in that moment, when I had that Starbucks and caramel drizzle inside the cup, and in that moment, while I'm drinking that and enjoying that, I feel good
Hmm.
and I'm happy. But as soon as that drink was gone, I was right back to dealing with the thing that I was avoiding. And I did that every day
Yeah,
for about 2 years.
I think I
And
dropped.
yeah.
I think I dropped like maybe 20, 30 pounds just by cleaning up my diet.
Hmm. Exactly.
And
So we have to do that.
I didn't even know what the hell was going on on, and the people around me didn't either. like,
And like you said, when you get mad, somebody would say, "Hey, you want me to go get X, Y, Z?"
mm-hmm.
Because even the kids would be like, "Oh, you want some Starbucks today?" Of course, I'm not gonna say no to Starbucks. That was my mentality. Because that would make me feel better.
Yeah. Well, I feel you on that. We've all been there before.
Yeah.
But what a great thing to be on that recovery path and when you know better. And here's the
Yeah.
thing about food, too, which I don't know if anybody knows this, but the healthier that you eat, the more that your mind becomes elevated and you can get, on a healthy thinking process because we're just like computers, right? So if
Right.
you put garbage in, all you're gonna get out is garbage. So when you start
Exactly.
changing up your diet, cleaning things up a little bit, being very careful about what you eat, you'll start to be very
Mhm.
careful about what you speak. You'll be very careful about the things that you want to hear. You'll be careful about a lot of different things. And I'm just speaking from experience. It definitely has happened to me. Like after a while, you don't even crave some of the crazy stuff you used to.
You honestly you don't.
Like
You don't, not at all.
I think I'll eat like potato chips like once every couple months, if that. Right now, I've been on this dark chocolate kick, which that's not good always either, because you're only supposed to eat so much. But prior to me, having dark chocolate or milk chocolate, I hadn't had candy in almost like a whole year. So
What?
yeah,
Lord, give me Larry's strength.
like I honestly, I used to eat so much crazy stuff like gummy worms and all of the
Mhm.
stuff that was no good. I used to every week I would have that. As a kid growing up, I used to eat stuff like that, but nah, I'm really not into all of that stuff anymore.
Exactly. And I'm beginning to you begin to understand your relationship with food and how things are rooted and where it comes from. Like for me, being obsessed about food and loving everything about food, and you got out like I'm always in the grocery store or videos in the store and things like
Mm-hmm.
that,
Mm-hmm.
and that's from the childhood, growing up, not always having something to eat. And I'm just being transparent,
I feel you on
with
that.
you and everybody. Growing up, not always having something to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Sometimes eating at school, knowing that that's the only meal you're going to get for that day.
I feel you. Yeah.
So it addictions stem from something, and they're a coping mechanism to help us avoid the like deep seated, rooted issue of why we're addicted to those things.
You know what mine became, which was crazy. Like once you start to make money and you can do things that you want, you remember how the portions may have not been big, right?
Hmm.
So because the portions weren't big, in my mind, I was like, all right, so now we're gonna make them big now because we can handle it. We could do things for ourselves now,
Yes,
and
exactly,
that ain't good. All of
exactly.
a sudden, you just realize that why am I sitting here chilling with a whole bucket of KFC because of stuff like that? Why?
Or you're sitting there with a bucket and you're like, you finish the whole bucket and you're like, why did I just eat that whole bucket? Oh, because the mentality of growing up was eat everything on your plate.
Hmm. Or in some cases, when people got to fight for food, for those of you out there who got siblings and stuff, now it's like you better eat it all now before somebody else gets it.
Mm-hmm.
So many crazy things, right?
Yeah, so a lot of things in our childhood play a role
Hmm.
in the adult we become. So we just have to look at that, and like you said, we just have to learn from it and grow from it, And I like that you use that term grow because it is a process.
Every single day. Every single day.
Yeah,
In a
exactly,
minute that
exactly. It's never, I never wake up one day and be like, yay, I'm over,
exactly.
Starbucks. I haven't been to Starbucks in about 2 years, but it's not like I don't think about it. I still think about it. Still
Mm,
think about going sometimes and getting something. And there's nothing wrong with me getting something every once in a while, but it
right.
was just that every day, all the time habit that needed to be broken.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So we got, did we say August 15th? We did, right?
August 15th is the release date,
August
but of
15th.
course, I will let you know on the 411 if it's coming out early.
Well, thank you so much. And, we got to get you in for reading between the wines, all that stuff. And I got to,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, we got to get all of that set up. And, whenever you got your show coming out, I need to learn how to
I
cook a
definitely
couple
have to
things.
have you on.
I got to learn how to cook a couple things. Maybe I can save the next relationship or whatever I got going on.
Yeah, so that's another thing, working on with the show. I want to be able to have guests on, let the
Mm,
guests know in advance what I'll be cooking while I interview them, and they might want to cook something too, or they might just want to sit and
wow,
chill and
that
let
might
the
be
interview.
interesting if I cook something. So I'm gonna do it like the straight up talk shows, the way they have it already, where it's already made sitting under the table somewhere.
Yeah, so you can just pull it out.
Exactly,
I
exactly.
did a, I
Hmm.
did Sadie Pegasus Hall. Sadie says it all interviewed me, so and we did the pizza, right?
Hmm.
So we did the pizza, but I also had to have a whole complete pizza ready
Ooh,
to
ooh.
show everybody, due to time
Hmm.
constraints, to show everybody what it looks like. So, but I thought that was really cool. That way, people don't have to sit there, forever and a day waiting to see the finished product of the dish.
You just gave me a good idea. Some homemade pizza. I had a recipe and I hadn't had it in a while, so thank you for that. Mm, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to get off the phone here with you because this is too much.
I
It's
know. But we just have a good time together when we talk and we catch up and
yeah, it's 11 o'clock and I'm sitting here thinking about pizza now. Mm-mm-mm. Mouth watering and everything. Mm. Well, thank you so
yeah,
much for coming
so
through. I appreciate you. Good luck with the new
always,
book.
always.
You got a
Thank
lot of
you.
stuff going on, which is good. You're gonna be set up for an excellent fourth quarter. I see it already.
Oh,
You got a
thank
lot
you
of good
so
things
much,
going on.
friend.
Yes, yes, yes. And we will definitely be in touch. And got to have you on reading between the wines. And we actually need to have a sit down. We need some Gina B real life food. North Carolina. We got
Okay.
to set that up.
All right now.
All right. Take care. You have a wonderful night.
You too.
All right. See ya.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye. All right, y'all. So there you have it. Miss Regina Boykins, aka Honestly Vegan. Thank you so much for coming through tonight. I appreciate her. Thank you to everybody out there who's tuning in. Not sure where you're tuning in from, but thank you. People out there on Facebook. I saw a few people come through on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. Check out those TikTok videos, D Live, Twitch, and I also have some videos on Daily Motion as well. Everything is at Laren Gaines. If you go ahead and click that link above, all of my social media platforms, you can go inside of Volume 1.5, Deliberation, Remix Journal, a 30-day transformational journey towards a healthier mindset. That is my new book for $7.99. Anything that you purchase, whether you check that one out, whether you check out the first one, Volume 1, whatever you do, anything that you do will help support the 411 and reading between the wines. And of course, I cannot do any of this without each and every one of you checking me out, hanging out there with me. I appreciate that. And of course, could not do it without my executive producer, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, for allowing me to come out here and give you all the 4-in-1 podcast one more time in life. This is an amazing journey, continuously learning to grow and, learning who I am and accepting who I am. And I thank each and every one of you out there for accepting me. All right, tomorrow we have freestyle sessions. Tomorrow we have a very special guest coming through. She's been here before a couple times. Luna Tide coming through. Check us out tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here, 4-in-1 Podcast, Freestyle Sessions. I'll see you when I see you. Thank you so much. Y'all have a good night. Take care.